This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani. I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood, Andre the Man in White, and Chad Welsh. Before we get into things today, we have a new member of the Wheel Weaves Patreon team to welcome. So thank you so much, and a big hello to Smoke It Man. Thanks so much for your support. We really appreciate your generosity. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 55 and 56 of The Shadow Rising.
Yeah, so chapter 55, we have Into the Deep, and chapter 56 is Goldeneyes.
Yo.
Yeah, hey.
Yo. Stuff happens.
Yeah. We are at the end of this book, and we're getting some conclusions to our storylines.
We certainly are.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrapped up in a neat little package, some
neat little
might
package,
say.
Yeah, hey.
Hey, how about that?
Well, okay, we can talk
different.
about it. But...
It's different, but it's not so different.
Yeah, it's the same, but different.
But different.
But still the same. Okay.
Yeah.
And this episode is special not just because we're getting the ends of storylines, but we also have...
an interview.
Yeah.
With Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern.
Yeah.
We talked to him about a video that he created with Nabliss on YouTube.
Yes.
And it talks all about the Two Rivers storyline. It's a really nice breakdown and synopsis of this battle.
Yeah, absolutely. The Battle of the Two Rivers, which we get to see play out.
Right. And we will let you guys hear that interview right before we get into the chapter in the Two Rivers.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. And I do have to tell you, Brett, you can officially not say anymore that I am cold and dead inside.
Really?
I cried.
Wow, okay.
I legit cried tears from my eyes.
That's amazing.
And I couldn't stop it.
You, hid that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You just don't want me to be right.
No. I'm gonna tell you where, though. You're not gonna expect it, I think.
It's probably the wrong place, but anyways.
It's probably the wrong place,
okay.
But it was it might be the right place.
The White Cloaks just wanted to kill Perrin and that's it, but they didn't get to?
It's actually, I'm super pumped for Perrin getting his happy ending.
Hey!
Hey! Yeah, I was so happy.
Oh my god, we're talking about so much stuff before we're even there.
I know, it's just so good.
Okay.
Tell us a fact, and then we can get into it.
Okay, so, this episode, since we get to see the conclusion of the Battle of the Two Rivers, I had to do a little fun fact in honor of the saviors of the Two Rivers, which are the Longbowmen. So I had to pull up from some fun facts on the English longbow.
Sure.
Because that really played a pivotal role in this battle. So, the English longbow, usually around 6 feet long, and that's what the Two Rivers longbow is probably based off of, but they were dominant in warfare for about 200 years. So, from 1250 to about 1450 Common Era. And, interestingly, there are no longbows that have actually survived from that era, because they basically all broken down. So there's going to be some contested information in this fun fact, so anybody who's an expert on longbows, I don't want to hear it because I just get my information from the internet.
Or you do want to hear it because it's good to know other sources of information.
Yeah, except that there's going to be back and forth about who's right. There's some stuff going on in the longbow,
community,
fandom, whatever you want to call it.
Interesting.
Just going to put that out there first.
Okay. Sounds like a contentious
It's heating up pretty hot, so... Anyway, so the interesting part that I wanted to pick up about the longbows is the draw weight. So the amount of force needed to actually draw these bows because they're gigantic. And we've seen already in the Wheel of Time where the Shienarans are making fun of the size of the bows.
Yeah.
Because they're too big. And
you can't shoot it from a horse.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Well, we also got a tidbit that we never talked about, that Fael can't shoot a longbow.
Yes.
And she's shooting from a little boy's bow.
Exactly.
But Perrin doesn't tell her that.
Yes, which is actually relevant, and that's part of why I want to bring up the draw weight.
Okay.
So, in the medieval period, draw weights ranged typically from about 100 to 185 pound force. And just in comparison to today's bows, which are usually around 30 to 60 pounds of force.
Okay.
So way heavier bows, way more strength needed to actually draw these bows.
And shoot them, at a long distance.
And accurately and all those things. So there's very few people nowadays who can actually use those 185-pound draws because largely nowadays it's just not necessary to have such a heavy bow.
Yeah.
Because usually if you're hunting like animals, not British people. So, that's what they were fighting way back in the day. Or Trollocs, for example. So the whole point about File not being able to use a Two Rivers bow is actually very realistic, because to be able to learn and use an English longbow, it wasn't something you could just pick up and use. Archers would literally train with these from childhood to the point where their skeletons of longbow archers are recognizable from enlarged left arms and bone and joint damage. So it's something that you would have to train and work up over the course of your entire life.
Okay, I actually have to make a correction of something you've said already.
Oh no, what?
You said they'd be shooting at the British, but you said these are English longbows.
You telling me the British don't fight the British?
They fight the French.
In the medieval day.
Brett, I think I know something about...
Okay, that's fine. We're not hunting the French.
Well, they were.
Or the British, or anybody, the Welsh, so,
Let's stick to Trollocs.
There's lots of people. Anyways. Yeah. So, while the longbows, they are incredibly effective, as we see here, and also in real life, they basically dominated the battlefield for 200 years, the amount of training needed to actually use those longbows eventually made longbows obsolete with the invention of things like muskets. Because that you can just pick up and...
And crossbows.
Absolutely, actually. Yeah, so, yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I just want to make this point because I want to point out how effective and dangerous these longbows really are, to show you why we have essentially a group of farmers, the Two Rivers folk, but they're all brought up in the Two Rivers using these gigantic bows, so they're a legitimate, like a standing army that's capable of inflicting serious damage.
Yeah, cool.
So it's not just like a, plot point save the day. It's literally these Two Rivers folk are a fighting force.
And they mostly use them at, festivals for, archery games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we get to see that, so.
Cool. All right. Interesting. So let's get into this episode then.
Yeah.
Because last time with Nynaeve and Elaine, we had them being super badass.
Mildly irresponsible, I'll say.
Yeah, but doing the stuff relatively competently.
Yeah.
Being pretty competent, which is a huge compliment. And I'm super pumped for them. So we had Nynaeve battling and winning against Moghedien.
And not dying from that other black sister who came in. And
not dying from just
balefire fire hose.
Fire hose. And then we had Elaine, who's controlling the Panarch with her voice and her words.
Not just the power, but also with her authority.
She's speaking.
It's good.
Yes, Elaine. Go get it, girl. I like it. So that's where we pick up here. Now, chapter 55 is called Into the Deep. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really get this chapter name.
Why?
Oh, yes I do. Yes, I do. I forgot about the main thing.
Because of the main thing at the end of the chapter.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes one of my points about that a little obsolete.
That's so funny.
But we'll get there.
I'm glad we got there together.
The chapter symbol is waves. Oh my god.
Because boats.
Okay. I forgot the chapter symbol while I was reading it.
I gotta say, this is a great start.
Anyway, we enter into Nynaeve's perspective. Nynaeve is heading through the palace to get back to the meeting place.
Yeah.
And on her way, she sees Leandrin and some other chick named Mariana at some point.
Yeah.
But everyone is just rushing around because of this riot. It's almost worked too well.
Yes, and that's the thing about a riot is, sure, you can start it, but you can't control where it goes.
No, at all. So it's crazy. And then not only is there a riot, but some black sister just literally destroyed half of the palace.
Yes, and if you destroy the support beams of a palace, it might not stay out very long. So it's not
just a riot. It's also infrastructure collapse.
Yes, that too.
That people are all running from. So...
That's a bad riot.
Yeah. So Nynaeve meets up with Elaine, Aegianin, and Amathera.
Yes.
Amarithia. And they have just a super quick conversation. Turns out Amathera gave even more trouble after they left.
Yeah, after the trouble that we saw her causing, she did more stuff.
She tried to find her guards and
she tried to sneak away from Elaine and Egyanin. And it's like, what are you doing?
Like, you know what women who can channel can do to you.
So one of the things we got to talk about this chapter is we don't get to find out what Elaine said, but I want to hear what your thoughts are about what...
Because, well, I don't think she said much.
Oh,
because it says Elaine had, like, a, quote, little talk with her, and now she's staying in line. There's no need for more ... talking.
Ah, so not talking.
Nah, it was power stuff.
Ooh, power stuff. Okay.
That's what I think. That's my take.
Yeah.
What do you think she said?
No, I mean, there's some speculation we can get into about what she said.
You listen here, Missy.
So I want to bring up my points after we get a little further.
Okay. Yeah, so now Amathera confirms she's going to do exactly as Elaine says, like she's scared of her. And I mean, at the same time, we know from Egwene's point of view what being kidnapped and tortured does to your brain.
Yeah, it damages it.
It damages your brain.
Yeah.
Trauma's bad.
Yeah.
So she's probably also not thinking like 100% clearly at this point about women who can channel in general, even though they're technically saving her. She's probably not being very trustworthy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's all good points.
So Elaine tells Nynaeve that she was super worried because she could feel the insane amount of power being used.
Yeah, so that answers our question from last time. Like, yeah, that's something that people can feel.
Oh, yeah, well, I think that's how the chick with the balefare showed up.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, this is the confirmation that, in fact, the other sisters, like, would have felt that too.
Oh, for sure. And then Nynaeve just, like, casually mentions her battle with the Forsaken Mogedion.
Yeah, yeah. And she doesn't even say that she beat her. She's like, oh, I was trying to figure out how to bring her out for trial.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, and I almost got killed with balefire, but, you know.
No biggie.
No worries. And then Elaine is like, you captured Mogedion?
Like, what?
And she's like, yeah, but she got away.
Shoot.
And then there's even a point where Nynaeve thinks to herself, there, I told them everything.
Yeah.
It's not easy admitting when I fucked up. And it's like, you, what?
This is all good. I'm hearing all positives.
Everything that you've, like, she's just so hypercritical of herself.
Yeah. Like, hey, there might be repercussions, which we can kind of get into about Mogedion.
But you got the bracelet, you got the seal,
you rescued the panic, like, everybody,
You didn't get, like, captured by Mogedion, you didn't get caught by a black agent. Like, there's so many things that could have gone wrong, and it sounds like right now everything went right.
Yeah. And I just want to point out, because we definitely get a little bit of development on the whole Egyanin and Nynaeve relationship.
Yeah.
Especially here, because Nynaeve forces herself to thank Egyanin for, like, making the attempt to go and find her when Elaine was worried about her. So there's some sort of growth we're seeing. Yeah.
Well, because first we get Elaine telling Nynaeve, like, remember, be careful in the future.
Yeah.
Don't just, like, fight the Forsaken when they show up. Like, what do you mean, don't fight the Forsaken? I don't know. It just, like, her advice is so meaningless and stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, Elaine herself didn't follow any of the advice, so...
No, she didn't.
And that's the whole Egyanin reaction, too.
Yeah, she clears her throat.
And it's like, I seem to remember you being like, throw the doors open!
Yes. Yeah, but then Elaine asks Nynaeve if she has the collar and the seal. Yes, confirmed, she still has them.
All good.
So I was like, oh, is she gonna run away from the balefire?
Oh,
and,
no,
like,
I dropped them.
Drop them? I don't know. Like, we had that sort of situation in Kyrian with the horn and the dagger.
Yeah.
When we had them, we lost them in a Romeo-Juliet situation.
Yes.
So, like, it's not unheard of that sort of thing could happen.
Yeah.
But this plot point needs to get wrapped up because we're at the end of the book.
Yes,
so,
true.
She has them.
There's time to lose it in the future, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. So, we also get that they are waiting for the men here, which I was like, get out. Like, don't stand in the palace. Like, why is the meeting point with the men in the palace?
Well, the palace is gigantic, and they had, like, a designated spot in the palace in and around the place.
It just seemed so strange to me. Like, what if the men couldn't get into the palace somehow?
The men are in everyone's in there. Palace is gigantic. It's not just like a one. It's huge.
I don't know. I didn't think that like Tom and Julian were in there.
Think palace grounds. They all came in together.
I know, but not Tom and Julian.
And the riot. Yeah, the riot's working their way in.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was not a good spot.
I'm gonna need you to just go with it here.
Nope. Anyway, Nynaeve thinks that, Egyanin, you just won't let me hate you, will you?
Yep.
And she's like annoyed. And so then Tom shows up and is like, we gotta go!
Yeah.
And so it's time to get out of here because Julin, Tom, and Damen, and Damen's men, are holding back the ride as best they can. And there's like white cloaks and civilians fighting in the streets, and the Panarch's Legion is just like a mess, and it's all a mess. So like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
So Nynaeve seems to be having like more feelings about Egyanin because she starts thinking to herself, we are not so different. We're actually, like, we're not the same, but we're also not that different. And she, like, smiles encouragingly at her, which makes Egyanin very confused, I can imagine.
Yes, definitely. Especially since Nynaeve may think one way, but she definitely may not voice that feeling. And also, is that going to stick around? Or isn't she some sort of, like, weird moment of...
Well, let's talk about it because we get another point later.
Okay.
That I'll talk about. So, after they're, like, clear and more safe, Tom bows to Amathera and gives her like the full honors as the Panarch because he's Tom, right? He knows nobles.
Who she is. Yeah, absolutely.
And so Amathera glances at Elaine, who like nods and is like, "Yep,
stick to the plan.
Stick to the plan."
Yeah.
And then she tells Tom that he's mistaken and she's just a poor refugee.
Yes.
So they make it back to the inn, and Elaine introduces Amathera to Rendra as Thera, a refugee with no money who can work for her meals.
Yeah, okay, so this is what I want to talk about the whole Elaine conversation.
Yeah.
So although it definitely doesn't seem like it was just talking, there was something else involved, it does kind of seem like they formulated a plan where Elaine's telling Amathera the Panarch, like, hey, for the next X amount of days, you are not the Panarch.
Yeah, you have to go into hiding. And it's for her safety also.
It is.
Because... she's like, it's not far from the Panarch is dead to death to the Panarch.
Yes, like it's very interchangeable, especially when the people are like this.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the question is Amathera no longer the Panarch? Is she perma gone? Is she like, is this a temporary fix? Are the girls leaving? Are they keeping? Is Amathera going to stick with them? Like there's so many question marks that even at the end of this chapter...
yeah. I like that, though.
We don't know.
Yeah, fair.
So, is, like, Elaine and Nynaeve gonna bounce, and Amathera's gonna stay here for a little bit, and then go, like, what's happening?
I'm not sure, but I think that if anyone can fix this, it's Tom.
Ah, Tom. Okay.
Somehow.
Okay.
Some way.
Well, he's got the political maneuvering,
yeah, he does. And I mean, a Panarch might not exist in Tanchico anymore. Like...
yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Because the king... was super shitty.
Yeah.
Wasn't doing anything. The Panarch, everyone was like, what's she doing? Nothing. Because she was actually being held hostage by the Black Aja.
Yes.
Who now probably have to flee.
Yeah, and possible. Like, we don't actually know the extent of what this... I mean, Tanchico's been in turmoil for a long time, so are we staying here? Like, what's... like, no, obviously, everybody in Tanchico can't leave, so there'll be some semblance of something, but... it might not be the same government.
No, and it might be like someone is like, we need a new king.
Yeah.
We need someone else in power.
New system in place.
And like someone needs to rise up and be like, this needs to change.
Yeah. So, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of question marks, but...
yeah, because Elaine also is frustrated with Amathera for, Amathera, her nickname is Thera.
Because
I just
Amathera.
got it.
There, great start.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
great middle.
I'm picking up so much. Too little, too late.
Hey-o.
Okay. So, turns out that she doesn't have an understanding of the lives of the common people, and Elaine is being a little bit of a hypocrite here.
Oh yeah, huge.
And she's like, did you see all that food in her pantry that could feed the city?
I mean, it's one banana. What could it cost? $10? But I mean, that's Elaine's entire, like, MO.
I know, that's like everything.
So.
Yeah, I know. But her mother is aware of the common people.
She is.
Like,
yes.
Camelin
Yeah.
is doing better, although we don't really know what it's
we don't know
like
right now, but in normal times they've got the Queen's Bounty, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they are better.
She's clearly been raised to care about the common people.
Yeah.
And this Panarch who just got sort of like thrown into this position because she was like sleeping with the king or something like that.
Yeah.
And
allegedly.
Yeah. Like, obviously wasn't raised in any sort of way to like understand how to rule anything.
So yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Also, she had no control.
Yes.
Like from the second she was raised, the Black Azure were there controlling her.
Yeah, it was all a big sham. So, I mean, I also feel for that.
Yeah,
but...
we can move on past this, though. I don't really think that it's that big a plot point. So, Nynaeve thinks about how Moghedien escaped and how it's super weird because she was sure she tied off the thing that was, like, cutting her off. The shield. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And she also thinks it's so weird that Moghedien didn't come after her once she got free. Because everyone that Nynaeve knows or thinks of is like going to be the aggressor.
Yeah. But I mean, she does kind of piece it together.
She doesn't know like Moghedien's ways, and it's to run.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, and I mean, it's a good point that, I mean, Nynaeve does think maybe she was careless in tying off the shield. So maybe there is a way, if it's not done 100% properly.
I think that's Nynaeve being very critical of herself. Okay. I'm sure it was done properly, but I also think that one of the Forsaken from the Age of Legends might also know some way.
Yeah, trick to like get out of it.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like Moghedien's working with anyone else.
So it's not like it was she was
like
saved?
Somebody else showed up and saved her somehow. I don't really know.
Okay. And then I wanted to see if you picked up on... So I thought there might be another one of those like little weird...
That's the next point I have. I know exactly what you're about to say.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure if this counted as one.
100%. This is a big one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because Tom has a weird interaction with Elaine. Like the whole thing is weird. Tom says, "You'll make a good queen one day," and she like smiles, and then she takes a handkerchief from his pocket.
Yeah.
And then starts like dabbing his forehead for him.
Okay, yeah.
And then he's like protesting, but she's like, "Oh, let me just help you." It's just so strange. Like, I don't like it.
I know, I get that. And I figured that was another one of those things because you pointed out a few times. So.
It is. It's a weird thing.
All right.
So, at this point, Nynaeve lays out all the things that... when I say all the things, it's two things.
It's two things,
She lays out the things.
Well, it's like a collar and the bracelet, so that's three things right there.
It's things.
Yeah.
And... everyone takes a look, so she has the seal, which Daman notes he had one like this.
Which is so funny, because Nynaeve's like,
no,
doubt it. No
doubt
way.
It.
Yes. But we get a kind of a recap on the seal situation.
Of how many are left.
Yes.
And I would like to know if you could recap for us what happened to each one.
Oh, sure.
In case we don't all...
we're not keeping track.
Remember exactly.
Okay. So there's 7 of them.
It's me. I don't remember.
Or, it's somebody else, unnamed person. A friend of mine. Anyways.
The viewer, the listeners.
Yes.
They need to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's 7 made, there's 3 broken, and there's 1 with Moraine, and then 1 here. So in Eye of the World, we had 1.
And it was broken.
And it was broken when we found it.
Yeah.
And then Daman had 1, and Turek took it. Lord Turek.
And it was on display.
And it was on display.
Yep.
And then Turek also had 1. And then Moraine grabbed both of those guys, and they both got broken after the Battle of Falma.
Somehow. We don't know how.
We don't know how, but they were at some point, somehow, some way, but they're broken. So that's broken. 3 broken. And then Moraine found 1 in the Stone of Tyr.
Right, in the collection.
Yes.
And that one's not broken.
Not broken. She still has that from what we know. And that was the end of The Dragon Reborn. And then this one here in Tanchico. So this is the 5th. And it's also not broken. So there are
2 left.
2 missing that we don't know if they are intact or broken.
Yeah.
Because who knows? And then 2 not broken that we know about.
That we have. Possession of.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a really good point because she kind of thinks about what happens when all those are broken. And do they all have to be broken for the Dark One to break free?
Well, and some are broken and now the Forsaken are out. So how does that work?
So my question to you is, give me a timeline on how the seals work for the Dark One. Is it like there's 7 seals and they each have to be broken and then it's like, boom, Dark One's free? Or is it like...
It seems like as more break, more bad things are happening.
Okay.
It seems like, he's peeking out a little bit.
Getting a hand out there.
It's starting to open and he can see out.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
You can get like a finger through.
Yeah, and then, And the Forsaken got out now that 3 are broken.
Gotcha. Good point. Okay.
I think that it's sort of like a little bit of an opening crack situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then we don't want to get all of them broken.
Definitely that's not a thing we want.
Okay.
Unless we're on the Dark One side.
Hey, and you never know.
Dark One sympathizers.
Sometimes when you're like, hey, Lanfear is my favorite character, it's like, oh,
You're
okay.
a fucking Dark Friend. I
Yeah.
know. Whatever.
I know that.
I own it.
Okay.
I also have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Moraine found that seal in Tyr.
Yeah.
And she left Tyr and went to Ruidian.
Uh-huh.
And, like, stripped down.
Sure
and
did.
left. And now she's, like, does she still have it on her person?
That's a good question.
Or did she, like, send it to the tower to Swan? Because...
Uh-oh.
Well, not uh-oh. Like, Elide is not a Dark Friend. So, like, it's not that much of an uh-oh, but it's, like...
It's a medium uh-oh.
It's a medium uh-oh. Like, she's doing some stuff.
I mean, if they were just in her clothes, it's not like the Aiel are going to rifle through her stuff.
No, but that's, like, a very crazy, valuable thing to just be carrying around with you.
Yeah.
Does she, like, leave it hiding in Tyr so she can, like, go back for it later?
Gave it to Lan. I don't know. She's
Maybe
got to worry,
Lan.
right? So
Yeah. Okay. That's all.
there's a whole lot of questions that I can't answer.
Yeah,
so.
for this, like, ridiculously short chapter. Okay.
Yeah.
So... Then we also have the collar and the bracelets, and Aegyanan notes that this collar is not an Adam.
Yes.
But it's not totally different.
No, it's like the same thing. It's just not one made for a woman.
Yeah, she's like, I've never seen one like that. That's not a Shan-Chen thing.
Yes.
Like, that's her point.
Yeah.
It's like, we're bad, but we're not that bad.
But it's like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, except that they didn't make it. So.
Yeah.
Now, Nynaeve thinks about how Aegyanan actually showed more mercy to that Suldam by letting her free than Nynaeve would have.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah.
She has that thought to herself, and she's like, I'm being super hard on her. Is she actually a good person? Because she was nicer to that Suldam than I would have been. Like, I wouldn't have showed that woman who...
So Nynaeve is coming around. And I guess the big question is, like, is this a temporary thing?
Yeah, she
or
does
is she
flip-flop.
actually... She
does flip-flop, and she just went through something pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
I would say that she's probably very, like, tired and weary. And maybe when she's, like, sort of in this, like, weary... Like, she just channeled so much.
Yeah.
Like...
Before her, like, stubborn side can be like, no, I'm right, and I should hate
maybe
it.
it's like...
So.
Yeah, she's a little bit broken down her wall because she's not all... Nynaeve right now.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
It's just a theory. So, Julian asks if they mean to keep pursuing Liandrin. Will you leave Tanchico? The seal and the collar seem too important, like, not to take priority. Like, that's what they came for.
Yeah.
They didn't come for Liandrin.
No, not specifically.
Not this time.
Not this time.
And so, Nynaeve wants to send the seal to the White Tower, but I don't know what that means.
Via
like,
carrier pigeon, maybe.
Yeah, like send Tom with it? Like, or is she gonna go with it?
It kind of sounds like they would go and drop it off.
Okay.
Just because of her phrasing of like, oh, what next? Okay, get that seal and then go find Lan. That's kind of how she ends it up.
When we get to that. But she says definitely, like, not the collar.
No.
This is not going to the tower because no one should be able to control basically anyone else, but she thinks Rand specifically because what's to stop the White Tower from using it?
And that's the whole point. Like, not even just the Dark Friends, like the Black Aja from using. What's to stop from regular?
She's still Nynaeve, right?
Which is, but I mean, yeah, it's Nynaeve, but that's also a good point. Like, even the good guys might consider using the collar to control Rand the Dragon Reborn,
right,
which would be equally like a bad thing.
Well, especially now because we know that there's a lot of consequences to
yeah.
using it. So Nynaeve asks Elaine to destroy the collar with the power.
Yeah.
And Elaine makes the attempt, but no success.
Yeah, so...
Turns out Moghedien was telling the truth.
We did get that.
Yeah.
But I have a question about this, because we got to literally see that Quendiar is indestructible because the Balefire fire hose, like all the Quendiar pieces were like dropping to the floor. So clearly that doesn't, break it.
Balefire does not...
Yes.
Yeah.
And like everything that they're she's channeling, it's not working. And we have a Forsaken who's like, yeah, you can't destroy it. It's indestructible.
Yeah.
But we also know that the seals for the Dark One's prison are made of Quendiar.
Mm-hmm.
Those are breaking.
Yes.
So is there something that can break it? Or is it like a special case scenario where it's like, ooh, it's the Dark One seal?
Yeah, the world got drained.
Yeah.
So like crack.
Oh, it's like,
I don't know.
Special case situation, whatever.
I don't know.
So, okay.
Something broke it.
Something to think about.
Something can break it.
Tuck it away.
It's probably the power, somehow. some specific way. Unless the seals are some kind of like Coendiar hybrid material.
Ooh, okay, which is totally possible.
Not 100%
Yeah.
Coendiar.
Because it's like, how does a Coendiar seal actually manifest as a seal for the Dark One's prison?
Well, and here's the thing, like, is anything made of this even crafted?
Yeah.
You have to be able to mold it and do something with it.
How do you make it? That's all good questions.
Yeah. If you find out how it's made, you can find out how to break it.
I love it. Okay.
So, let's keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
Now, Elaine can't destroy it, so Nynaeve has an alternative plan, and she asks Daman to take the collar and drop it in the deepest part of the sea that she knows.
Into the deep, as you could say.
Oh yeah, good one. Yeah. So, all of the mer people...
The mer people get it. Oh my god.
Are going to get it, and it's going to be oh man.
Okay, so, this is the thing.
Yeah.
It's a plan.
I said, I hope that works. It's not a bad plan, but he has to get there first.
That's my question. So, okay, so is this plan good? Is it going to work? It is a
good plan. In my opinion...
Good plan. Drop it in the ocean.
Drop it in the ocean.
There's a lot of scary shit in the ocean. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, mer people. I know.
It. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Monsters. Anyways, is this plan going to work?
I originally think no, but with the chapter title and the symbol...
Yeah.
Being like the sea and into the deep, like the whole like waves picture.
Yeah.
Makes me think that, this is gonna... Like, this is the wrap-up to this.
This plot point,
Like, we don't really have a wrap-up to, like, what's going on here at all.
Yeah.
We end on a very big cliffhanger in Tanchico. Like, what's actually happening here? What's next?
Yeah.
But this, I think, is the wrap-up.
Wrapped up plot point, okay.
I hate saying that because
Well, it's kind of like the whole, even the next chapter when we get into, it's like the Two Rivers battle is that the end. It's like it kind of wraps up.
100%.
So like,
that's it.
We'll move on to bigger and better stuff.
Yeah, but like the suspicious side of my brain
which
wants
is like,
to be like, oh, nope.
So everybody knows.
It's going to actually get into Shan-Chen hands.
The suspicious side of your brain is all of it. Yeah. So it's your entire brain.
I also have an anxiety side.
Yeah, it's all of it.
Oh, shoot. It's all wrapped together.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You missed what I said, though. That, like, Daman...
Shan-Chen hands or something. Okay.
Yeah. Daman's going to be on his boat, and he's going to get captured again.
Oh, man. That would suck.
Shan-Chen,
okay.
And then they're going to take it. I don't know. No, he's going to destroy it.
Okay. Yeah. Not destroy it. He's dropping it in the ocean.
That's what I mean. He's getting rid of it.
Some weird sea monster's going to eat it.
So, Nynaeve thinks about the next steps in their journey to Tarvalin to drop off the seal, then to wherever Lan is.
Yeah.
And she thinks about Aegyanin and Daman having a bit of a love connection. And Elaine is like loving Rand, who's like doomed to go mad. So if all those relationships are super weird and difficult, but they make it work.
Yeah, why can't she?
Then why can't I be with Lan? Let's go.
So I mean, hey, that's a good thing for me for Nynaeve and Lan. Like, I'm on board with that.
Yep.
So she's like, okay, go to Tarvalin, drop off the seal, and then go to Lan.
Yeah, cool.
That's going to be fun for next book. Knowing what we know about the White Tower right now. So.
Well, and knowing what we know about where Lan is.
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, I got 2 chapters still.
Oh, man, okay.
I really hope that we go back to the waste and, like, something there gets wrapped up.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay.
I like the ending of this, though.
You do? Okay.
This particular scenario, this scene...
Yeah.
Ended on a very high point with the women being very strong and successful, and... They didn't have anyone who, like, rescued them. They had help with their plan. It went pretty good.
Yeah.
And now there are still a bunch of unknowns. And that's kind of what I wanted for this book.
But that's the thing, is, like, we don't get a tidy... We get some endings, but it's not a complete ending to it. So.
And that's what I kind of predicted for this book.
You did, yeah.
So Makes sense. Happy. I'm happy about this one in particular.
Yeah.
So getting into chapter 56, Goldeneyes... We get the chapter symbol is a wolf.
Yes, makes sense.
And last time with Perrin, he's in the Two Rivers. He married Fael and then sent her off because he knows he is sure to die.
Yes, that's a good summary. That's what's happened.
Yeah, and now this is where we're going to let you guys have a listen to that interview we had with Lauren.
Yeah.
Discussing what he's up to and a little bit about this battle in this chapter.
Yes, yeah, so listen and then we'll come back to it.
And we'll pick it up. Hey, welcome, Lauren. We're super excited to be talking to you tonight.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this little segment we're going to plug in.
Yeah, do you want to tell the people who you are and what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. My name is Lauren. I run a YouTube channel called Unraveling the Pattern. And basically I do Wheel of Time animated videos because I don't like being on camera. So most of the time it's just animated videos. I've been making videos and animations for about 15 years professionally, and I love the Wheel of Time. I've been loving the Wheel of Time about almost 30 years professionally. It
Nice.
feels like.
Yeah.
Not professionally. I would love to make it a profession.
Right?
But you've got the experience.
We're all working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following the Wheel of Time since probably about 95 or 96, really, so not quite 30 years. But my goal with my channel is, obviously with the show coming out, I think a lot of us were hoping to make Wheel of Time content that would kind of catch on. Right?
Yeah.
Because I make videos for a living, I've always wanted to have some sort of YouTube or content creation channel. And this isn't, to be honest, the Wheel of Time channel isn't the first one I've started, but it's the one that I'm focused on right now because I am so excited about the show and it has caught some attention. And so I've been trying to focus more on spoiler-free or very light spoiler videos. I make, I have one about like the Great Pattern and the Wheel of Time and what that is.
Yeah.
I have one about the One Power. And I just started a new series called Watt 101. And the objective is to just do sort of like glossary definitions. And to be honest, your podcast sort of inspired me to do this because I love the glossary definitions with Brett segment. Yeah, so as I started making these videos, I realized these animated videos take me so long. And people like Nablus, who's more established in the Wheel of Time community on YouTube, he can knock out a video pretty quick because it's mostly just him standing or, sitting and talking to a camera.
Yeah.
And that's who you paired up with?
Yeah.
For some of your videos?
Yeah, and specifically for the battle breakdown videos, which currently we only have one, which is the one you guys have seen and we'll probably talk about a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're planning on doing a bunch more. The next one planned is the Battle of Falm from the second book. And eventually we'll get to some bigger, more important battles that I can't spoil right now. But that's been really fun. Nablus has been spending a lot of time building like detailed maps. And so I'm basically using his maps and his script and then animating. But anyway, I could talk about myself all day. I love the Wheel of Time. I love making videos. But my goal is to try to inform new viewers of the show, especially.
Which is why we thought, why don't we have you on? Because we have a huge target audience of new readers. So hopefully
exactly.
we can send some people over to check you out.
Yeah, it's always kind of funny because I feel like we have the double-edged sword of the veterans who just like watching you suffer through this book series. And then there's people who are currently suffering through this book series.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was going to say, for me, listening to your podcast, I've been trying to listen to a bunch of different podcasts, and I've been hooked on yours specifically because it's better than a reread for me. I've reread especially like the first 6 books so many times. And so I don't really enjoy rereading the books as much as I used to.
Interesting.
But hearing you guys go through it, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that part. And what an interesting take. Like, I didn't think about it this way. And I really appreciate the perspective that you both bring to it. I am so constantly impressed by Brett's ability to not spoil things or to not give in. But I'm also impressed when Dani, when you do catch on to something, how Brett has, like, I imagine a poker face. I don't know how you do it, but
Yeah.
anyway, it's been great. I have to say the recent Gila monster thing made me laugh too because
Oh, man.
I was going to say, yeah.
my
Okay, tell me.
school mascot when I was in elementary school was the Gila monster. I lived in Tucson, Arizona. And as soon as you said Gila monster, I was like, oh boy, I literally said out loud, it's a Gila monster.
Brett's
Well, how am I
on so
supposed
many
to know?
corrections on
So
that one
many.
alone.
That's so
Which
funny.
I do appreciate because like I'm never gonna know those things, and
Yeah.
like it's good to.
I didn't know.
No.
Oh, yeah. How
Lizards
would
Also,
you
can
why
be
is it
even-
called
poisonous.
Why is it called a
I don't know
monster?
anything. Yeah.
It's just-
Well,
like-
apparently it is poisonous. It is a poisonous lizard. So
There you go.
I don't know. Ask the locals, the natives.
Yeah,
whoever.
Yeah, I think our next trip should be to Arizona so I could like brush up on some desert culture because I am
We both
totally
thought-
misinformed.
Yeah.
When you guys
I
were
didn't-
talking about cactuses,
We've all
I
been
was just
shamed.
remembering these giant tall cactuses growing up.
I'm picturing the little teeny succulents I have like on my desk over there. Like I'm like, oh, those cactus are tiny.
That's so funny. Well, it's really has been fun. So thank you guys for having me on. I think specifically for today's discussion,
This is why you're
we're
here.
talking about that great battle. That
Yeah.
happened,
Yes.
Yeah.
And just full disclosure, during this conversation right now, we have not yet talked about the chapters.
No.
But we're going to be doing that right after we're done recording with you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
But you have read the chapters. You just haven't talked
Oh,
about them.
yes.
Yeah.
We just haven't discussed it. So, and
Yes.
we both watched the video.
Yeah, so we thought it would be great to have you on to talk about this video that you created that you guys spent so much time doing that directs exactly to this book, this journey, Perrin's journey, the Battle of the Two Rivers, which I've just learned apparently is what it's called. So, cool.
I mean, I think it's probably unofficially called that, right? We call
Yeah,
it
I love it.
Informal. Yeah.
But
Yeah. So, Nablus is one of these larger YouTubers, and he's been very supportive of me, and I'm very thankful for that. He basically approached me and said, I want to do these battle breakdown videos, but I'm not much of an animator. I've been working on these maps, and the first one I want to tackle is the Battle of the Two Rivers. I've already written the script, and I was like, well, great. That's easy for me. I just got to, put everything together. And then I try to get a little creative with it and add, like, little Trollocs and stuff, but overall, it was just a really fun thing. And to be honest, I'm a very visual learner, and I didn't realize, kind of what was north, west, east, south. I didn't understand that with the Two Rivers. And so
Yeah.
reading his script and breaking this down for me really helped me put into perspective, the Two Rivers really was sandwiched in here, and there's no way out from the south. They're basically stuck. And seeing, where is Watch Hill, where is Devon Ride, all of that really helped me. Where is the Waygate?
Yeah.
It just put it into perspective a lot for me. So it was really a
it's
great
like,
learning experience.
Why did Perrin go to Rand's farm instead of going to his until you actually
Right.
realize
And we
where
sort of
everything
talked about
is?
that,
Yeah.
But I often talk about, number one, how I'm a very visual learner and I need to draw things out or see them to understand them. And I'm also a huge timeline person.
Yeah.
I'm huge on the timeline stuff. And so to see a visual breaking down a timeline, like you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm especially excited for the next ones you do because there are a lot of like for the Battle of the Two Rivers, like thankfully, even timeline-wise, with RJ's writing, it wasn't the worst he's ever done to us. For example, Matt and Rand's journey from
the Camelin Road.
from Emmons Field.
Oh, that's that's the word.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Well, and make the ending of the Eye of the World make sense too, because
Too, yeah.
That'll never.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's awesome for the visual side of like really understanding what's going on. So I can definitely appreciate these.
just to plug myself a little more.
Do it, yeah.
I actually have another. I wouldn't call it spoiler free because I'm talking a lot about history, which isn't revealed until gradually through the series. So if you're approaching the series the way you are with the podcast, completely spoiler free, maybe this series wouldn't be the best for you. But I have a series called Wheel of Timelines, and basically what I'm doing is I'm going through all of the history, starting from the very first thing we know about the First Age and the moment of creation. And then I'm working my way up to the point when the Eye of the World begins. And I don't I don't mean the prologue. I mean, an empty road with Rand and Tam on the empty road. So I've currently got 2 videos in that series out. One is called, I think it's the First Age and the First Moment. And then the other is called The Age of Legends. And I'm just going through all of that history. We're going to talk about the War of the Shadow in the next one. I'll eventually talk about Manetheren and the Trolloc Wars and, Eridol and all that stuff. So that's really fun for me too, because it helps, like you said, you're a timeline person. It helps me.
Yeah.
Because, people are like, oh yeah, back in the Trolloc Wars. And I never remember, was that 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, And, it's just a matter of piecing it all together. And thankfully, a lot of smarter people than me have done a lot of that work. I'm just putting it together visually for my viewers and for myself, frankly, because it really does help me understand the story better. Well, yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I mean, as far as the videos I think people should watch, the battle breakdown that I did is called The Battle of the Two Rivers. You can find it on Unraveling the Pattern, but you can also find it on Nablus's channel. I released it like 4 months after it was released on his channel. Okay. There was one edit I made. Someone pointed out in the comments on Nablus's channel that I had the White Cloaks leaving from the south in the original video, and I realized you can't leave from the south. That's what Terran Ferry is for. You can only really enter the Two Rivers through Terran Ferry, and so that's the one thing I corrected in the version that you guys watched.
Okay, good to know. Well, this was really fun. We're super excited to have you on, to talk to you about this kind of stuff. We just love talking to anybody else also about Wheel of Time, so that's lots of fun. Very
thank you guys. Good luck talking tonight about the... I do want to ask one question.
Excited. Yeah.
What did you think of the Battle of the Two Rivers? Did you like the way it turned out? Did you enjoy those chapters?
Yes. A hesitant yes. I have some issues with it. It was
Can't
just
wait
a
to
little...
hear 'em.
Yeah, you'll have to... listen and find out.
I was gonna say
Laugh-o.
that the Laugh-o, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. The scene in my video where Perrin and Fael get married, I wanted to put kind of like a meh celebration sound in there. Because I know some people are kind of meh about that whole relationship, myself included. And so
Yeah.
it was
That's
kind of
so
like
funny.
a forced celebration, I think.
Yeah. Agreed. I think we all can get on that ship. So,
Yeah.
all right. Thanks again, Lauren. We'll
Yeah,
talk to
thank
you
you.
soon.
Yes, we'll see you.
So that was great. It was so nice to talk to Lauren.
Yeah. The video is really cool, so it's just like a visual schematic of everything that's going on. I
Yeah.
really appreciated it.
And
so.
you said there's a slight spoiler in
Yes.
the one that he has released.
He
so
puts a spoiler warning at it, so I mean, I'm overly cautious.
yes, you are.
I'm overly cautious.
Everyone
but
knows how overly cautious
Yeah.
you are, especially me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we recommend if you were confused at all, even if you were confused, because I wasn't that confused about.
Yeah,
But even watching parts of the video,
it answers questions I didn't know I had.
yeah.
So
Well, especially like, oh, that's where the Westwood is
Yeah.
on this map. Like,
yeah,
you know?
it's very cool, very
Yeah.
cool stuff. So
yeah, great. Check it out.
all right,
So we get in here in Perrin's perspective. It's late morning.
yes,
Perrin is writing a letter, like a bunch of them, or just one? Like
just one.
Oh, okay. But he has like lots of sheets.
He's made a few attempts.
Okay, that's what's happening. Okay.
He's doing his best.
Right, okay, because I thought he was doing the thing where he like writes out like copies of the same letter and then sends them out.
Who's
to
he
different-
writing letters to? His family? Too soon?
No.
Okay.
So I was gonna say like Rand
Okay.
or the White Tower or Camelin. Like I thought like that's a battle strategy where you're like writing about what's going on here and you're gonna send like 10 of them out.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like he's doing that. It
No,
seems
that's
like he's
100%.
yeah.
No, it's not. It doesn't seem. That's not what he's doing.
Okay.
At
yeah.
the first, I thought maybe.
Okay.
But no, he's writing a letter being like, sorry, Fael, I love you. I'm not going to ask for your forgiveness because I'm not saying sorry.
Are you going to tell me that this is not the part you cried at?
No.
Okay. This letter's like, it's okay.
You can probably know. You'll probably be able to guess it. But
okay.
anyway, so Aram is here, and he's the only one in this room with Perrin.
Yeah.
Perrin can't understand why Aram is hanging around. Just like, leave me alone. And Aram's like, no. So...
I go where you go.
Yeah. So Ban enters to tell Lord Perrin that the Aiel are back. They bring word that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of Trollocs coming from the north and the south.
Yeah, so, I mean, big thing, though, it doesn't seem like it's 20,000. Like,
Yeah.
Perrin was thinking the high end of the spectrum there.
It's probably 5.
It's probably, like, close to the 5.
Yeah.
If that, so, yeah. But it's still a lot. Like, it's still a bad situation.
So we do get that Perrin is writing a letter to Fael. He's not expecting to come out of this alive. I actually think that this is a pretty romantic and sweet letter.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I like it because
All
he's like
right.
thinking he's gonna. This isn't the first time this book he thought he was walking towards his death,
Yeah.
and at no point did I ever think Perrin was gonna die here. Like, if that's a question you have for me,
Oh, yeah, okay.
no,
Okay.
I did not think Perrin was gonna die at the end of book 4.
All right.
No,
Would you have liked it if he died at the end of book 4?
no. I thought more people actually were gonna die though. I
Yeah.
thought maybe like Bran.
Like
Or,
some big names.
Like somebody who's not, who would be, it would be sad and a little shocking, but it would be like, okay. Like, I get his whole family has died already.
Like kill a Tam type thing? Like
yeah, not
big
Tam.
death,
like,
but...
maybe like,
Okay, not that. Like a Matt's dad, like an Abel?
yeah, no, never mind. Don't kill anybody.
What do you want?
I don't know. Haral. No, that would be too bad for...
Harold Luhan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said Bran.
Yeah. Bran,
Bran
you want
died, like,
Egwene's
that
dad
would-
to die?
Yeah.
You're cool with that?
No. But it would have not been a huge surprise.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
And it wouldn't have been like a nothing and nobody died who was important, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like...
We
this-
basically get no one who was important out
Nothing.
here, so.
Yeah, but okay, let's
Okay.
get into it. So, sweet letter, and he writes Fael Ibarra on the letter
Ooh.
because she has to put up with Two Rivers Customs with the last name thing.
Yeah. Well, he just doesn't know what the custom is, so he's like, screw it.
Well, he knows what the Two Rivers Custom is.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the Saldea one is.
Yeah. And so he's also wearing the red ribbon still that he's supposed to wear for 7 days to announce his marriage to everyone.
Yes.
So he's just like Still just like a simple country boy.
He is. Oh, very much so.
Following his customs.
He's a blacksmith, not a lord.
Yeah.
Haven't you been listening?
Yeah, okay, well, here comes Lord Perrin and the companions.
Yeah.
They roll out. So we get an outline of the battle plan, sort of.
Yeah.
Or just like what's gonna happen if the battle goes bad.
Yeah, so like when things go poorly, this is what happens.
And then that's actually not what ends up happening. So,
no, not at all, because things happen. So, plans change.
So the women right now are inside the village in a tight circle around the children. And if the Trollocs break through, the women will take the children out. And the older children, or the teenagers, will know what to do.
Yeah.
They'll hide in the woods until it's safe to come out. Same with the Tinkers. They're helping with the children.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's a...
And we get that Rain and Isla still won't even look at Aram.
Yeah. So, okay. I should have prepared this better, but we're going to have to take a shot.
Oh, okay.
Because one thing I kind of want to bring up here is that the entire Battle of the Two Rivers always has, always given me a Battle for Helm's Deep vibe from Lord of the Rings. And the reason I bring that up is because with the Battle for Helm's Deep, you have a basic, unstoppable horde of orcs and Uruk-hai coming to destroy the men, women, and children of Rohan at Helm's Deep.
Okay.
And you've got the women and the children hiding in the caves, ready, in case or when Helm's Deep falls, they're going to take off further into the mountains. Which is basically what's happening here, where it's like they're going to lose, and they're just biding as much time as possible. And then, as we all know, how the Battle of Helm's Deep ends, is all is lost, they're going to lose, and then who shows up?
Is it Gandalf?
It's Gandalf
Okay.
shows up with the Rohirrim to come and save the day.
Is that the line where it's like, I'm not late, I show up when I'm supposed to?
Oh my god,
something?
no. That's from that first movie.
I don't know.
A wizard is never late.
Yeah,
It's
we
just
got, okay, we have to
precisely
watch
what he
them.
means to. Okay.
We have to, it's been so long
The
for
quote
me. It's
that I
probably
did
been
last-
like a decade.
I know. The quote that I did last time, impromptu,
Yeah,
at first light on the fifth day
Yes.
at dawn, look to the east.
yeah.
That's literally looking to the east to see Gandalf show up with the Rohirrim to charge down and, save the day.
Okay, can we take our shot? I don't want to talk about Lord of the Rings anymore.
But I'm just saying, just full summary and full disclosure, Fael is Gandalf.
Well, Fael and Devon Ride people,
No, false. Fael is Gandalf.
I
Okay.
hate that so much.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm
it's
sorry.
annoying,
Nope, it is.
but I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, fun. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Oh.
It's kind of funny because we were playing Jackbox, and one of the questions was, what movie can you quote the most lines from?
Uh-huh.
And my answer was the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and you were like, what? You can quote lines from the Lord of the Rings trilogy? And I was like, that's the thing that I know the best, probably. Out of all movies.
Ugh.
I got that.
I'm still recovering.
I know you are. That's why I'm telling this story about the Lord of the Rings.
Mine is, I think, Finding Nemo.
Oh, that's good too.
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo. Okay, so let's get into this, though. Okay, I'm ready. I'm okay.
Okay.
So Perrin apologizes to the women for sending Fael away, and they're like, don't worry, bud. We know.
Yeah, any man worth cooking a meal for would do the same.
Right. Apparently that's just the culture here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Perrin thinks that he had fooled them with his plan.
Yeah.
But turns out they all knew what he was doing, and also Fael knew what he was doing.
Yeah, most definitely, probably.
So I'm less upset about the situation.
Okay.
Because she went willingly. It
Yeah.
wasn't he actually fooled her. I'm upset that he attempted to manipulate her.
He did.
And I hate that.
It's good to know how bad he is at it, so maybe
He was
won't...
even thinking in his mind, I can lie like Matt.
I'm amazing.
No.
No,
So she
yeah.
picked up on it, she knew, and then still did her own thing of her own accord, of her own volition. And so there's some redemption.
Yeah, and it's also more so Fael used his manipulation to manipulate the situation to do something actually useful.
Yeah. Actually, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Not with Perrin and their relationship, but with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like her. She's good.
Okay. So Perrin orders Ban and Tell that if things should go badly, then the companions are to come back here and get the women and children out no matter what.
Yeah, and also good exit plan.
Yeah, and Perrin tells Aram to stay with the companions, and Aram's like, I go where you go.
Yeah.
Beep boop, beep,
Beep boop, I'm a robot.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Robot Aram. And so the White Cloaks are at the west end of the green, and they're all mounted, and Perrin's like, get your places, assholes. And Byron's like, we are leaving here, Shadow Spawn.
Yeah, it's an interesting take, because they do have over 400 soldiers.
I have a theory as to why they're leaving right now.
Why?
Do you want to hear it now or later?
I want to hear it now. Why are they leaving?
So, it was the White Cloaks who originally found the hurt guy.
Yeah.
And so, later in, I don't know, probably half an hour from now,
yeah.
we're going to talk about how the hurt guy who said we
guy.
Are coming was the guy from Devon Ride saying
we are coming.
We are coming to help.
Yes.
And I think that the White Cloaks knew that Manetheren was all, the Two Rivers were all going to start banding together to protect themselves, and they wouldn't be needed anymore. And so they're getting out of their own volition to maintain their power.
Oh.
I think that they originally met that guy before he was on the brink of death, because they brought him 4 miles, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. And so he probably explained, but by the time they got there 4 miles later, he was like dying and couldn't explain, and none of the White Cloaks explained to anybody what he actually had said 4 miles ago.
So, okay.
That's my theory.
That's a little complicated, I gotta say.
It's not that complicated. It makes sense.
It does. I'm going to propose an alternate.
No.
The White Cloaks saw a horde of Trollocs coming.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like,
get the fuck
everyone
out.
Here is going to die, and we're not going to die here. We're going to leave now and fuck these people.
Also that. It's probably both.
It's probably a combination of both. I kind of like yours.
They wanted to make, especially Bornhold, like, giving up Perrin like that, that's like a big deal. So
It is. But I mean, that's kind of the thing. It's like, if Devon Ride and Watch Hill with Fail did not come, Emmons Field would be gone.
Yep.
So if the White Cloaks didn't know about those forces coming in to assist, even with the 400 White Cloaks, they probably still might get wiped out.
Yeah.
So it's just like a toss-up.
They probably thought that these like little villages, even if Watch Hill and Devon Ride came in,
still might not help.
They still might not help, but
everyone underestimates the English longbow.
But they knew that they were going to get help.
Okay, yeah. At least from
either they thought they're going to get help, but we're all still going to die, so we're leaving.
Yeah.
Or they thought they're going to get help, and we want to get out of here when it's our decision.
I agree.
So that we don't lose our power.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably a combination. Absolutely. I want to talk about Bornhold and Bayer after.
Okay. So Perrin calls out Bornhold on still thinking of him as a dark friend, even after all the Trolloc attacks. Bornhold has not changed his mind. He's still drunk, by the way. Like, he just has an unlimited supply.
You don't need a ton of brandy. I mean, like...
Yeah, I guess so.
So, especially if you don't drink, and then you start drinking.
Nah, that's fair. But anyway, he still thinks Perrin is planning on dancing on top of the bodies when the attack is done.
As all good dark friends do.
Yes. Now, Perrin has another idea.
A brilliant one, I would say.
Well, it's not actually that bad. So, he legit thinks... thinks that he needs these 400 soldiers to help him here.
He does. No, I get it. He's sacrificing himself for the sake of Emmons Field. Yeah. I get it, and I agree with that.
And so he tells Bornhold, if they stay and fight, then after they can arrest him and he won't resist.
Yeah. So I get it, because he also thinks I'm probably going to die here anyways.
Well, and he also thinks, like, I'm guilty. I did murder White Cloaks. Yeah.
So, I mean, if the White Cloaks did stay and help, he would probably end up dying in the battle anyways in his own mind. Yeah. So it's like, I'm never going to survive this.
He already wrote, like, a goodbye letter to Fail.
Oh, yeah. He's planning on dying in this battle one way or the other, so...
Yeah. Which, he leaves it on, like, the mantle in the inn.
I mean, where else are you going to put it? Especially if it gets overrun with Trollocs, like, where would you put it? Where would you hide it? I don't know,
but he even thinks to himself, she's never going to read this.
Yeah.
But, anyway. So... Perrin berates the White Cloaks for running away when they preach about protecting people from Trollocs, and then Bornhold decides to stay.
Yeah.
And he tells Perrin that he will have vengeance for his family and for his father, and Bayer hates this.
Yeah. It's all bad, and again, I want to come back to it kind of after everything is done.
Okay.
But Bornhold seems definitely drunk and crazy.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Perrin is like checking on the defenses, the spears, the catapults. Alana is like fussing over the stones and
More explodey rocks.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Do it up.
And Abel is in charge of the defenses to the west, and Tam is in charge in the south.
Yep.
And Perrin chooses to fight with the north side with Bran and his funny armor.
His little cap.
Yeah, and he thinks it's the direction that Fail has gone to look after where she rode away from.
Yeah, so,
and it's as good as any place to die.
Good enough.
Yeah. So Gul and Chiad are side by side, and Perrin supposes that they've squashed their blood feud.
And we kind of see a little bit more of that later on, so...
Okay, we'll talk about it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Loyal has a pair of wood axes.
I love this. I love Loyal.
He's ready to General Grievous those.
Just spin them around real fast.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. I wish that people could have seen you do that. You like literally.
I'm pretty sure I've talked about that before.
Yeah,
so.
You have. It's a good move. The General Grievous. So Perrin tells Loyal, like, you can leave. You can live. Get out of here. And Loyal's like, I'm not leaving you.
Yeah. Okay, Loyal is such a friggin' sweetheart.
It's because he's so loyal.
Yeah, there you go. But it's also because he doesn't think of himself as a hero in a story, but he's like, maybe someone will write a story about me one day. Haha, who could think an Ogier hero?
Yeah.
Impossible.
But
and
it's
it's
like,
just like...
you're writing the story, bud.
Number one, yeah.
You could literally write yourself in.
Write yourself in as a hero.
If you were someone else. Like, if you were a different kind of...
He's just like such a pure soul, though.
Yes.
Like, it's just 100%.
Really. Like, he is the most uncomplicated, pure character.
Yeah.
Like, that we have met so far.
Like, you went and shut the Waygate with Gaul and then outran Trollocs and Fates for 3 days carrying Gaul.
No, there is nothing suspicious or anything like that at all about Loyal.
It's never the person you most suspect.
It's also never the person you least suspect.
Yeah? The person you most medium suspect.
That's right. Good office
That's
quote.
good.
Anytime we say anything even remotely obscure, it's from The Office.
Yeah.
So, Perrin thinks about all the men here. It goes on for about 20 pages.
Roughly, give or take.
Because it literally lists all the names of anyone he's ever met.
Yeah. But again, coming back to the RJ-isms of the whole, like, war experience, where before a fight, you're looking at the people to the left and right of you, and you're like, I know you.
Yeah, and
I
your
know
family,
you,
and
I
your
know
family,
you.
and your family.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Perrin finds Varen and tells her he's surprised to find Alana and her still here, since they may get killed. And he's still thinking to himself, oh, your task here was to find women who can channel.
Sort of.
This seems a little bit dangerous for that task there, Varen.
Sort of, but the second half of that sentence is, are you doing that, or are you here because you're keeping a string tied to Viren?
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't...
But she doesn't say no.
Oh, no, she straight out admits it.
And she says...
no, I don't think I'm going to go, and if I could, I'd latch myself onto every single one of you.
I'd marry you.
Yeah.
No. Gross.
So it's like, not only does she not say, she says yes, basically.
Yeah. Well, she's writing a book about Taviran.
Yeah, she's never hidden that. Yeah. Like, she took her notes. Like, it's not a secret.
Yeah. And he's like, I have a wife. That's my wife. And Varen's like, I know, but I'm not quite sure what marrying Zareen Bashir means yet.
Yeah, well, and I think she's right about the fact that Perrin doesn't know what he's gotten himself into.
Yeah.
Because she is the cousin to the Queen of Saldea.
Yeah. And
like
her dad's
big
like a
borderland
big
nation.
Yeah.
Well, he's the uncle and like the Marshal General or Captain General, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Someone's going to not like the fact that I don't remember that. But anyways, like he leads the armies and it's like crazy. Like, Perrin doesn't know what he's gotten himself into here.
Yeah, and then she's like, when are you going to give this up for the hammer?
Yeah, and we've heard that a bunch of times.
Yeah, but we heard that from, like, a weirdo Forsaken in one of his dreams.
Yeah, I brought that up because I figured you would talk about that. So, Dragon Reborn Chapter 4, Perrin had the dream sequence, and that was with the spooky wine, which was like, oh, don't drink that. And then it was... the guy, and we never figured out who that guy was. We don't think it was. There's no burning eyes. We didn't think it was.
Yeah, and that was the only one I really knew about at the time.
Yeah, so it was somebody else, but he said, when are you going to give up the axe? And like, oh, you're going to give that up, right? But we've kind of heard the whole like Perrin and the axe and the hammer problem.
I know.
So it's like I don't want to be a...
I know. It just makes me like weirdo skeptical of Varen again. Remember 2 books ago when I was like, maybe Varen's a dark friend? I don't know. I haven't forgotten that. Maybe she's Black Aja.
Yeah, okay. It's the person you most medium suspect.
That's right.
But
Varen. Varen is the person I most medium suspect about being a Black Aja.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah, and I think I remember, especially because it was when the Swan and Moraine stuff happened. But keep in mind, Varen knows a bunch of prophecy type stuff. So, like, I kind of get that.
I don't buy that. That's a
She's a brown Aja.
That's a lord of... Oh, that's true. Okay.
Like,
all
literally
right.
her job is she connects dots of everything.
Yeah.
She knows everything.
All right.
So,
okay.
coming out
She's
here.
the person I most medium suspect.
Coming out here calling like my favorite character here.
Is Varen legit your favorite character?
She's so good. I love the fact that she goes off on like knowledge rants. I love the information she gives us.
Is Brown Aja your favorite Aja?
Yes, I already know that I would be that.
I know. Just because you would be it doesn't mean it's your favorite.
Of course it does. That's what I would be.
Remember how people keep asking me and I had no idea?
Yeah?
I know now.
It would not be brown.
It would not. No. No, but I was like, maybe blue, maybe green.
What would you be? What would
yellow.
you be? Hey, okay.
The only thing I know about them is like the healing and the protector and the passion or whatever. The like,
cool.
That's all I know about it. But like, that's my gut feeling now. Maybe like slash blue.
Okay.
Just for the like.
Well, now you're
I don't
into green.
really
so,
let things go. Oh yeah, because blue and yellow make green.
That's a color joke for you.
It's a good color joke.
That's good.
All right, guess what though? Trollocs have arrived.
Oh yeah, hey, time for this part.
And they're screaming a name.
Oh, they are. Okay, so this is funny because you did your like what happened last time, and you weren't 100% accurate in what happened last time. Because the other big thing that happened last time,
I forgot.
is Perrin had a little bit of a dream battle.
Oh yes.
With a certain Slayer.
Yes.
Shot him in the chest, and then a certain Luke kind of skedaddled out of town.
Hurt.
Injured in the chest area region.
Right.
Right. So, okay.
Slayer and Luke and Slayer? How can that be?
It doesn't make any sense at all.
It actually doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't.
But,
that's the point.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
The Trollocs here are yelling Esam.
Yes.
Esam, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, Trollocs can't talk, so I'm, like, number one confused about that.
Excuse me?
Narg? Are you going to talk about Narg? The one Trolloc who can talk?
Well, Narg is smarter than other Trollocs.
Narg's smart, sure.
So he knows more words, but Trollocs can talk. They have language.
Okay. Like guttural. Okay, anyway. So that's not even a little bit my point here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at all. So what I actually wanted to say here was if we hadn't been going through this book with a fine-tooth comb like we have been.
Sure.
Like we always do.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't told me to go do my homework and convinced me to go back and read in The Great Hunt and The Eye of the World, I would have no idea what this word is.
Yes.
Like, on a first read through, tell me if I'm wrong. Let me know if you read this for the first time and the Trolloc shouting Esam made any sense to you as a first-time reader just reading these books regularly. Because I think it's supposed to be a little bit confusing. And then we get the Fane stuff at the end, which makes you go, what? And then you probably read back and tried to find out who Esam was at all.
Yeah. I mean, Esam is it's a very unusual name, and we've only heard it like 2 or 3 times total.
Yeah.
That it's been, but I mean, that's the point of what we're doing.
Yes. So I right away was like, shit, I knew it.
Yes,
right?
And it makes sense why Varen says interesting.
Yeah,
because,
Varen goes,
And she's the one who read the Dark Prophecy on the walls of Faldara.
That's right.
And then discussed it with Swan and Moraine.
And had
Varen,
it written out and probably went over it and over it and over it.
But Varen didn't know who Esam was. Varen, when she was explaining to Swan and Moraine, she didn't know who Esam was.
And Moraine thought
knew,
she knew, but never disclosed it.
She didn't think she knew. She knew and was like,
no,
that's
no,
the name of Lan's...
When I say she thought she knew, in her head she was thinking, I know who that is.
Oh, she thought she knew, yeah.
Different than she thought she
She was thinking that she knew.
Yes.
Yeah, in her brain.
Yeah.
And it was not out loud. She didn't tell Varen, but she knew that that's like Lan's cousin, and if Lan knew that one of his relatives might still be alive, that would cause some sort of turmoil and like bad news bears situations.
Yes.
So that's Varen connecting dots in her own brain of what's going on.
Yeah.
So hey.
And it's probably a prophecy that she's studied a lot since
definitely,
then.
yeah.
Yeah. So, the Trollocs are coming in hot. They're chanting Esam, which is a little bit confusing to me.
Okay.
Even though I know who it is. Like, why are the Trollocs chanting his name? Like, is that their battle cry? Like, he's their leader? Or are they pissed off because he's disappeared and they don't know where he's gone? Or, like, I'm just having trouble figuring out like, I knew that Luke/Slayer was not a good guy.
Yeah.
But I also didn't know his exact connection with the Trollocs.
Yeah, that's true.
I had anticipated or predicted that he was the one who set up the Trolloc attack against Perrin.
Yeah, and we kind of get a little confirmation from Thane that the Trollocs are, like, kind of under Esam's control. Yeah, Esam's control. So, I mean, considering that Perrin just, like, basically dream murdered Esam,
yeah,
it kind of makes sense that Esam would...
Now, don't say murdered, because we didn't see him die.
Okay, Dream shot him through the chest and then he disappeared.
Yes.
And then it kind of makes sense that, like, he would then command all of his forces, go kill Perrin. Everyone attack. Go and get him right now.
Oh, that's actually...
Oh my god, I almost just died.
I actually do like that. I like that you said that. Okay.
So it kind of like makes sense that it's like he's been kind of playing around for the last little while, and now that this has happened literally like last night, a couple hours ago, now everybody is converging on Emmons Field. So...
Fair. Okay. And they're shouting his name because it's like in his name that we're fighting? Maybe?
Could be. Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
Well, it's kind of like the 4 Esam without the 4, right?
Okay. Because they're Trollocs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why use lot word when fewer do trick?
Yeah. You know, we could have spent our time like learning a new language.
We could have.
We could have done a lot of things in quarantine this year.
This has been more beneficial. You're talking about like learning the Office references, right?
Rewatching like watching new shows? No. The Office on repeat always in the background. That's what we watch. In case anyone's wondering. Okay, so the Trollocs are attacking from the north and the south at the same time. Perrin thinks to himself, at least Fail is safe now. And then we get just a ridiculous, chaotic battle scene.
Yes, and I think the big point, because we don't necessarily need to go over very much of the actual fighting here.
It doesn't go well.
No, and that's the point, is that from the get-go, it immediately goes poorly.
Yes.
Showing that they're so severely outnumbered that it's just like downhill right away.
It's like when the zombies start running.
Yeah.
And they all get impaled on the spikes so that they form a wall that the other zombies can crawl up and over.
Literally that.
Except Trollocs.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, Perrin starts giving orders for everyone to fall back.
Yeah, like immediately.
Yeah. And it's happening like regardless.
Yep.
And Perrin notes the individuals in the fight that he sees.
Yeah, and it's kind of like to give us a perspective of what's going on. So we got like people dying, Loyal's going savage with his axes, Thomas and Varen are kicking ass, and then Perrin gets knocked down.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Varen was like shooting balls of fire.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think she was that strong that she could like do that, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, when the moment calls for it, right?
Yeah.
And she can fight Shadow Spawn.
Yeah, because you told me, because I was like, remember... What about, like, lightning or balls of fire or something?
Yeah.
To, like, distract the White Cloaks, and you're like, she can't do that. All she can do is summon some rain.
I did not say that like that. Mm. That is not how I said it. I said maybe she wasn't, but also, like, she's going to do what she wants to do.
Yeah, okay. Well, and you know, when
she can't fight White Cloaks either.
You know when I said that she might be a Black Aja, and you're like, she's my favorite character. That's what somebody who's trying to throw me off would say.
Okay. No, you're right. Okay. There you go. A good point.
Okay, so Perrin gets knocked down from his horse. He gets pulled down from his horse.
Yeah.
And he gets pinned down, and a Trolloc is basically about to murder him, but Aram is standing right beside Perrin the entire time and saves him with a sword.
And I bet you're going to say that Aram's also Darkfriend, because that's exactly what a Darkfriend would do, is he would just go and save the not Darkfriend guy.
No.
Right?
This is Aram's redemption in my brain. Okay. So the opposite of what you just said.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm still feeling kind of emotionally hurt right now from your comments.
So Aram, though, saves Perrin with a sword, and this is everything Aram wanted to do.
Yes, save somebody.
This is his...
Yeah, I love Aram.
This is his moment.
Okay, but also, I gotta point out the fact that you've been kind of a little bit negative towards Aram and Perrin.
This is where Aram turns a page in my book. This is where he proves himself, and I'm like, okay.
Okay, so are you on Team Aram then?
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
Like, who's on Team Aram? Really?
I am. I like Aram. Like, I've been saying this. I don't know. Okay. But yeah.
Saving Perrin is a good thing, and it's like his own personal redemption.
And also the sword lessons are paying off. So,
yeah, cool.
Hey.
So Perrin sees that the Two Rivers women have joined in the battle.
Also.
And they are flippin' badass.
Hold on.
What?
We just skimmed over the fact that Perrin also killed the Fade.
Oh, yeah.
It's like not even important anymore.
I know,
it's kind of
so
funny,
crazy.
but it's like he's leveled up to a point where he kills a Fade and we don't even need to talk about it.
Yep, that's great.
Okay, but yeah, let's talk about the women. This is so good.
Yeah, so they are flippin' badass, fighting so hard, and then Perrin briefly wonders, well, where are the children? And then he goes, where are the White Cloaks? Because if the women are here, then the, like, actual small humans, not the Children of the Light. So it's a little confusing.
The little sea children, not the big sea children.
Yeah, so the tiny humans are unarmed.
But with the slightly bigger humans, the teenagers.
Right.
So, I mean, and the Tinkers.
And the Tinkers.
Yeah.
So that's where they are. And then Perrin's like, well, where are the White Cloaks? Like, they're supposed to be fighting, and they're nowhere to be seen. But in the midst of all him thinking that, like, we're in the middle of a battle still.
And before we jump forward, I just want to point out again about this battle. It is the essential Battle of Manetheren all over again.
Well, oh, that's true.
Like the old-timey one, because it's like the villagers, the men, the women who came out to fight side by side with the remaining army when they were gonna be, like, destroyed. That this is like the second battle of Manetheren.
That's so nice, especially considering I actually do have a point that, that's what that little tidbit of Perrin seeing the flag of Manetheren flying, like that's what this was alluding to. It's what it represents.
Yeah.
Is that all of the Two Rivers and / Manetheren are going to come together.
They're going to do it. They're going to be Manetheren again.
Cool.
Yeah, love it.
So then a runner, a small boy with curly hair, comes out to tell Perrin that Tam-Athor says somebody is attacking the Trollocs, like from the other side. Yeah. And they think they heard someone shouting, Devon Ride.
But what does that mean?
And I thought to myself, the runner, the person, the man, and we've already talked about that. But this is where it clicked for me, and I was like, oh, duh. Yeah. Okay. So Aram grabs Perrin's arm to get his attention because arrows are like plunging into the Trollocs from the north.
Which is where they are right now.
Yeah.
So reinforcements have arrived.
And it is Fael riding in with everyone from Watch Hill.
Yeah, it's Gandalf. That's why I was saying Fael is Gandalf.
Yeah, okay. And Perrin thinks she just looks so beautiful, and he's so happy to see her. And she's at the head of like rows and rows of farmers and
and this is why I did the fun fact on the longbows, because this is like a legitimate, they would rain destruction down on the Trollocs. Yeah. Like these are gigantic, heavy longbows.
The issue I kind of have with this specifically, just like the arrows raining down, I mean, there are, I guess, just like hordes of just Trollocs, but there are Trollocs mixed in with the people. Yeah. Too.
So imagine, because it's like they fell back behind the houses so that the fighting was happening like in the corridors between the houses.
Oh, so there's that you have a better chance.
There's hordes of Trollocs that are fighting.
Coming in still.
That are basically like stuck between on the other side of the houses. Yeah. So they're probably shooting at those ones, and the people from the inside are still fighting back, and that's why their lines are still able to like hold everyone back too. So
okay, got it.
Like there's some tactics that we can't really break down.
Things.
But
okay, so they're riding in under the Red Eagle banner, which is super cool. Trollocs and Fades are falling down everywhere, and then the little runner boy comes to tell Perrin that the Trolloc ranks are falling, and Perrin is like, "What's your name?"
Is this where you cried?
This is it.
Yay! We did it! We did it, everybody! We got her to feel feelings about a book.
Oh my god. It is... So the boy says... Oh, I'm gonna cry again. Jaime Ibarra.
Yeah.
A cousin of Perrin's of sorts anyway. And I went, oh my god, the wizard gave me a heart.
Yeah.
Because his whole family isn't gone. He thought he was the last Ibarra, and he's not.
He's got a little bit of extended family left.
And it's so amazing. Like, Perrin has to blink to keep his tears in. He's not the last Ibarra. And because now they're winning, this little Ibarra is going to grow up and have his own kids and more Ibarras. And
except he's not, because girls are gross and complex.
it's hilarious. It's adorable.
It's good. It's a cute little tidbit that
but
happens.
This, like, tears.
Yeah.
Crying.
I love it. Yes.
Crying. Real crying.
I'm so happy that happened.
Because sometimes, like, I'm a sucker for happy things.
Sure.
Sad things don't get me.
Okay.
Like, even on movies, whatever, if something's, like, really sad, I'm not a crier.
Yeah.
But, like, happy, like, I can't watch a proposal on TV without crying. I don't know. I didn't even cry when you proposed to me.
Yeah,
so, like,
it wasn't that good. So,
no, it was. It was great. It was It was shocking more than, I don't know. Anyway, things like that get to me. Like, emotional coming out videos.
Yeah.
I'm like a mess. Like, when things are really lovely and are going so well and it's just amazing. Like, that's what makes me cry. And
Gotcha.
This got me.
Okay.
This is my brand of, like, amazing, emotional, yes.
Okay. Love it. Yes.
Anyway, that's just a tidbit about me.
All right.
So, now, the battle is over. It took no more than an hour.
Yep.
That's a coincidence. That the Devon Ride and the Watch Hill, who didn't know each other was coming, they show up literally at the same time to, like, save their hides.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Ta'Veren?
Maybe a little bit.
I appreciate that. I like that that's just an answer.
Yep. It works.
Plot armor?
Yeah. I mean, also the fact, like, scouting. Devon Ride and Watch Hill, this is the thing we kind of have to understand. These other towns are still independent towns. Like, to expect that they don't have scouts going out, to expect that they don't know what's going on, I don't buy that. So even with Fail and her little monologue about, like, going to Watch Hill, they were already ready to go. They knew. They saw smoke. They know what's going on. They know bad things are happening.
Okay.
So,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I got to give a little independence to the other
like
villages.
That. So there's cheering, lots going on. Perrin heads over towards Fail, and Fail's like, I said I would go. I didn't say how far, though. So, like, you can't be mad at me.
Yeah.
And then Fail recounts her story, how her and Bane traveled really hard. They reached Watch Hill, and everyone there was already, like, ready to help. She didn't have to convince them. And I said this is probably why the White Cloaks wanted to leave in the first place, like, in my notes. I thought.
Yeah.
Right? That's where I started piecing this stuff together.
Yeah.
And then Fail tells a funny story about how somebody...
Tenobia?
Yeah.
That's Queen Tenobia of Saldea.
Queen Tenobia of Saldea.
That's her cousin.
Because I said sister, question mark? Okay.
Queen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
She's going to be a little jelly monster, turns out.
She never led men into battle. And she'll be so envious of Fail.
So this is the whole thing about, like, Perrin doesn't understand what he just got himself into by marrying into, like,
Well, and also he married somebody without asking. Like, I don't know what Saldean traditions are, but, like, he hasn't even, like, met the family. And she's talked before about how...
So you want to see a run-in between Perrin and her parents?
Yeah.
You want to see that?
After they're like, we're married. I went out into the world
there's
and
15
I came
books,
back
but...
married. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. So he just loves her so much and, like, anything even matters anymore. And they are so happy, and I feel myself being happy for them, and it's annoying that they've made me feel this way.
What?
I'm like naive.
Oh my god.
I am naive.
How dare you make me like this story?
Yes. How dare you make me feel happy for Fail and Perrin? Annoying. So, Fail thought she was too late. They arrived, and the Trollocs were already fighting. She asked if the men from Devon Ride came to help too, and Perrin's like, oh, did you coordinate that somehow? And she's like, no, I just figured that that's what that guy meant.
Yeah, the one who died when he's like, oh, we're coming.
Hopes up in case I was wrong.
Yeah. It's like,
what?
Communication, people, come on.
Keeping everything from each other? Like, what? So dumb. So, we get some, like, interesting marriage advice, but I think we've heard this already before. We had Fael tell Perrin this, I think when they were in the stone.
Okay.
Don't you ever say you're never going to tell me you're not mad at me or something.
Yeah, well, she does it
Except
again.
without all the double negatives.
Yeah. Don't ever not. Don't. Okay. But it's not terrible advice. Like, you're going to be angry. Talk about it when it happens. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a little bit of character growth, I think. Even the fact that you are starting to like Perrin and Fael means that they are changing things about the relationship that you previously didn't like.
That's fair. That's true. And I've talked about it before, how they've grown together.
Yeah.
Like, it's not perfect and it's not great, but it's better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Right now, anyway. And I don't know. So, with the battle over, Perrin becomes aware of how many dead shadow spawn are literally everywhere right now.
Oh, yeah, thousands.
And he also notes that there's no ravens.
Yes.
So that's good.
That is good.
Now, people are starting to come out of Emmons Field, and we're getting like a head count, and it doesn't seem like anyone too important died.
Yes.
And we get another 20 pages of names.
Yes. However, we get one other tidbit it looks like you missed from your reaction to this.
Yeah.
We have Gaul and Chiad hand in hand coming out with their veils down.
Oh. Seems like a love connection to me.
So, I mean, that's the thing.
What's Bane gonna think of that?
That's a good question. Because regardless of what anybody else thinks, they are for sure in a relationship together.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that would be a hidden thing between two people.
No.
In a culture where, polygamous
is
relationships are a thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we've seen a few times with, like, Chiad not wanting to leave when Fael was like, don't worry, Chiad, you're not going to have to leave him.
Yeah.
And then that's why Bane went with Fael.
Right.
So, yeah.
But the fact that Bane left without Chiad, like, they were the ones who were always together before.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if there's a rift in that relationship.
Perhaps. I guess you'll have to watch for that. So.
But also, does that mean they have to give up being maidens?
No, it depends.
Because if they're going to marry a man...
thing. That's a marriage thing, so...
Oh, they can...
There's steps before marriage.
Yeah, but I mean, like, probably not many.
No, I mean, there's a few things you could do.
Yeah, okay, I know.
I'm just saying, But that's the point. Gaul and Chiad hand in hand with their veils down.
Okay. Ah, cool.
Don't worry, we got more books to read.
Yeah, my brain's turning. I like it. It. I like that one.
Well, I mean, even that whole blood feud, lover or enemies to lovers type situation.
Romeo and Juliet.
And then you've got the whole little playful banter that we've seen the entire last two books with them. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
pick on the ones you like.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've pointed it out literally every time.
I know.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So then the White Cloaks appear, riding slowly out of the village. And Bornhald tells Perrin that now that everything is done, as we agreed, I arrest you for a dark friend and murderer.
Yeah.
And at this point, I was like, how's Perrin getting out of this? Because for a split second, I thought...
oh no.
That he might... I actually didn't know. I thought he might
dumb
turn himself
Perrin,
over.
Dumb Perrin being like, okay,
and
I'll
he's
go
gonna
now.
Be and everyone's like, no way, you can't. That's Perrin. Goldeneyes, rabble.
So it's like those terrible scam calls that I get voicemails once a week about. I don't know if anybody else ever gets them, but it's like, oh, you are going to be arrested. We have your...
You owe all the money for your taxes.
Yes, you are going to be arrested if you don't turn yourself
fraud.
in. Yeah. It's like, okay.
What? No.
I'm just going to hang up on you. And I feel that's Perrin's response here.
Well, it's a little bit... He's like, actually, no, just leave.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, you could have done that from the beginning? Yeah. All of this is so...
Well, the thing is, Perrin wanted them to fight. So he was offering things to get them to fight.
Yeah, but he was lying.
Well, he wasn't lying.
He thought he was going to die.
He thought he was going to die.
And now that he's not dead and everyone's happy and he's got his wife, he's like, actually, no.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what happened when he got to the Two Rivers because, he was like, oh, I got to go save my family.
And he was like, actually,
and his family died.
Yeah.
So he's like, actually, no, let's change the plan. So.
Yeah. So.
It's once he has time to think about it.
Okay, so everyone's rabble, you can't. And Perrin silences everyone and then tells Bornhald that he would not resist if Bornhald aided and helped them out. And he said, where were you? And then Daze Conger has something to say about this.
Yeah.
Turns out the White Cloaks were all sitting pretty as girls ready for a dance on Sunday.
Yeah, in their polished armor.
Yeah, on
Okay.
the green. Nowhere near the fighting.
Like bumps on a log.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bornhold has an answer for everything because he's like, Perrin, you're still a dark friend, and you were only saved because the others arrived, and Perrin can't claim any part of that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I'm gonna kill you right now.
It gets crazy, like, and this is what I wanted to kind of come back and talk about, but it gets to the level of,
White
okay,
cloaks are drawing their swords.
there's about 400 White Cloaks, but there's also all the Two Rivers people that are basically left, like, everybody's armed, they just destroy, like, thousands of Trollocs, and you're threatening Perrin, saying, I'm gonna see you dead if the world burns.
And he's like their leader.
Yeah, it's like, you're crazy to be threatening him in this situation, and Bornhold can't even see past
Oh, he might be a little overzealous.
a little bit, but I mean, coming back to that, but it's like, it's a next level of craziness here, so.
Yeah. But Perrin tells the White Cloaks that they gave no help and it's time to get the heck out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah.
And not just Emmons Field, but the Two Rivers entirely. No one will fight here today. And then a thing that made me do like one of those double takes,
Yeah.
they just leave.
Yeah, they left.
We hung up on the telemarketer.
Yeah.
We hung up on the scammer, and then we just don't have to deal with them.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Okay.
why did that work now? Like, I don't know. I guess they felt outnumbered and they
Severely outnumbered, yeah. They're in a bad situation. So, I mean, they really can't do anything but leave because you have, like, hundreds of Two Rivers bowmen who just, like, raise their bows at you.
Yeah.
Like, if it comes down to it, the Two Rivers people are winning that fight.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they'd leave.
Yeah.
So then we get the mayor of Watch Hill
Uh-huh.
coming up to Perrin.
Jared
And-
Varbarsteer.
That's the
Maybe.
name. And he's going to take some men and see that the White Cloaks actually leave the Two Rivers.
Which is smart.
Which I'm happy about.
Yep.
And there's a lot of like trying to figure out how to act around Perrin and Fail, a lord and lady.
Yeah, that's what's happening. So, and I was gonna say, it seems like Perrin and Fael are now the new Lord and Lady of the Two Rivers.
Yeah.
Hey, so that's interesting.
Now, are we calling it Manetheren? Like, are they still calling it Two Rivers?
They're calling it Two Rivers. They're not using the Manetheren name from what
Okay.
we can tell.
Okay. So Fael tells Perrin that there's a delegation from Watch Hill that's going to be coming down to make sure that this Lord Perrin is right for the Two Rivers.
Yeah, but it seems like it's a good fit.
It's a little too late for Perrin to be just a blacksmith
Yeah.
anymore.
So that's also kind of like the question for like leading into the next book. Are we going to see Perrin like start to accept his role?
Perhaps.
Or are we going to see kind of like what Rand did where it's like, I'm not the Dragon Reborn for 3 books and then finally he accepts it?
No, I think Perrin's coming into it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just now, do they live there? Or are they going to Saldea to meet, like...
Ooh, you really want this Perrin meeting to happen?
Yeah, I want to go see what's going on with her side of shit.
Okay.
I want to see that.
Yeah, or is like Perrin now locked down in Two Rivers? Like, what's happening
I don't
for
know.
his story arc now? Where does he go from
Where
here?
does he go? He just sits here.
Yeah.
He needs a palace or something. Like, where's he even
Well,
gonna live?
That's the next thing that he needs is a palace?
Well, like, if you're gonna be a lord, you probably need more than a room at the Wine Spring Inn.
Well, maybe if you're all fancy. He's not a fancy man.
He's gonna need... Him and Fael need a house.
Okay.
Is he gonna go live on his farm that everyone died at? No.
Maybe. It's the family farm.
Oh, that would just be terrible.
Oh my god, okay.
All
Well,
right.
that's for next book, so.
Okay. Well, the next time we see her, she's probably pregnant. So, I don't know of any birth control in this series. So,
We've speculated.
Aes Sedai birth control?
We've speculated what Aes Sedai birth control, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, at this point, Fael's just like, are you going to be spending some time alone with your wife anytime soon?
Yeah, hey-oh.
And they're going to do it.
They're gonna go do it, yeah.
Perrin gets his happy ending.
Yeah, so I got a question here.
Wink.
Well, hey, this is the first official and confirmed
Yes.
doing it of our,
Yeah.
main
I did
cast.
not anticipate this one.
Perrin.
I think I'd have to go back and listen. I think that might have been our first Q&A
Yeah.
ever.
And we're talking like on-screen action here because, I mean,
This is on-screen action as
Yeah.
much as we're going to get ever.
this is as much as you're going to get. Yeah, 100%. So,
just like talking about let's go spend some time alone together. And it's like husband and wife. So it's like, I think that this is the only way that Perrin
is ever gonna. Yeah.
But like, here's the thing. I don't know if last night after they got married before she left, did they like officially consummate?
Sure,
because
yeah.
based on tradition.
Yeah. Like if they just got married and she was leaving and he thought he was going to die.
Yeah, probably.
Are you telling me that you're not going to go out with a bang here?
Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah. That's why I said it that way.
Yeah, and so now they need like more practice probably.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. So good. I'm happy for it.
Okay,
I didn't expect that one. That was not the one I thought was going to win. Go Perrin. So we get a perspective change.
Yeah.
An interesting one.
It is, yeah.
We get Pat and Fane.
Yes.
It's, well, as Ordith.
Yeah.
Watching Emmons Field like a mile south from, like he's in a tree.
Yeah, he's spying.
Yeah. And everything has been going according to plan. Even Esam has played into his hands.
Yes.
Or so he thinks.
Yes.
And he doesn't understand why Esam stopped bringing Trollocs in.
So that's super important.
That's like one confirmation.
Yeah, well, two reasons that's kind of really important is that Esam played into his hands, and we got that Esam, / the Slayer dream
Needed
version.
to get rid of the Renegade.
Was supposed to get rid of the Renegade.
Yeah.
So, which is Fane. And then Fane doesn't know that the Waygate is closed.
Yes.
So that's, yeah. There's a lack of communication there. Fane's not all-knowing.
And that was 5 days ago that happened.
Yeah, it was like the 5th day roughly. So, okay.
So he super wants the Two Rivers to burn and scourge and be flayed.
That's how we can get Rand here, so.
Yeah, and so now Fane studies the Wolfhead banner and the Manetheren banner that are flying, and he thinks, there's more than one way to scourge them.
Yeah, and he's got that personal relationship with Manetheren.
Yes, as
Mordeth.
Yeah,
the Mordeth side of him has the personal relationship with Manetheren.
Yeah, because Fane thinks about how the White Tower holds what has been stolen from him.
Yep.
And so that's Dagger.
The dagger.
And he says it's his by right from like before the Trolloc Wars.
Mordethy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get that Fane has 30-ish white cloaks under his command, but they are no longer white cloaks.
Not really.
Those cloaks are dirty.
Yes. Well, they're all like basically Fane / Mordeth corrupted.
Yes.
So that's the best way to describe it.
There's also a Murdral there.
Yep.
Still.
Yep.
And the Fade was afraid that Esam would discover him there.
Yes. So that's also crazy that Esam is like terrorizing Murdral.
Yeah, so he's like a step above.
Okay.
Yeah, whereas we saw with Jacob Carradine as Boris,
sure,
the Fade was like higher up than the Dark Friends.
Definitely.
So Esam is at a level higher than Fades.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like I wonder if he's like working with a Forsaken. That's where my mind goes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because like this whole Luke / Esam thing.
Well, we also had Luke who was bringing in Murdral heads.
Yeah. True. I told you. He found them.
I know. He was chopping off the heads of bodies.
The dead ones. So, yeah.
Okay. There's just a whole bunch of questions now that we have based on what we've learned here.
Yeah, but this is what I suspected the entire time.
Yeah.
I haven't got my gold star for this one yet.
I'll give you a silver star.
What?
I don't know. Re-explain to me.
This is an incredible thing I had. I, for not 1 second trusted Luke. From the second we met him, I was like, Dark Friend.
Oh, I know, but it's so unwarranted at the beginning.
It was not unwarranted.
It was a little bit.
It was my gut feeling, and I was right.
Okay, fine, I'll admit, gold star.
And then the whole, obviously, he did the thing with the Trolloc attack. He's the one controlling all the Trollocs.
Okay, but that still asks the question, what's the connection between Esam, Slayer, Luke?
Well, Slayer and Luke are the same person. It's just one's in the dream world and one's in the regular world. That's what the whole prophecy says. They both are. One's dead.
Okay, but we haven't...
Obviously, Luke is the one who's dead, they're using his body.
Okay, but you can't say obviously because we haven't officially discussed that whole topic.
Okay, well now
you haven't put it out there in words like that.
Now I'm saying it.
Okay, so you're saying they are literally... in some fashion, one and the same. They're the same person.
That's what the prophecy says.
So Slayer is,
one dies,
Luke is,
one
Esam.
lives, but they both are.
So Luke is real world and Esam is dream world?
Yes, but it's all Esam.
Okay.
It's all Esam. but using like Luke's body.
Gotcha. Okay. His real world body to use.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
one lived and one died.
Gotcha.
And so
okay.
obviously Isam lived, and obviously Luke died, but they both are because his body is still being
Okay.
used.
Okay.
That's the prediction.
There we go. Okay.
And
that answers that. So that gets me a little bit further where we can be good with that now. So.
okay, but from the beginning, I told you Slayer and Luke are the same. From the beginning, I said Luke is the dark friend. The only thing I didn't get was the whole Luke and like Luke.
Lord Luke is Luke.
Yeah, what's the last name?
Mantir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's Tigraine's brother.
Yeah, that's the thing that escaped me.
Gotcha.
But everything else,
okay.
I
okay.
am taking credit for it.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Cool. Okay.
It just like adds layers to the craziness that's going on here.
So many layers.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Anyways, we got to talk about the Fade.
The Fade being afraid that Isam would find out that he's like serving Fane.
Yeah, and Isam's not happy because the raid on Terran Ferry let a bunch of people escape and carry away the word.
And that was
Fane's
Fane's plan.
That was Fane's plan.
Yeah.
So Fane is messing up Slayer's plans.
Yes.
Isam's plans.
Fair, because like Luke couldn't like if people from Camelin were actually gonna come in.
Yeah.
Somebody who may recognize his face as like Luke freaking who died in the Blight, allegedly.
So this is the thing too. I just want to point out here because we're kind of wrapping up the storyline for the book. Luke and Isam as people, that's only an event that happened about 20 years ago.
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I said, how is this Luke just running around where people are?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like not that long ago where people may...
Like, someone like Varen very well have, like, maybe met Luke.
Could have.
Yeah.
Very possible. Like, who knows? But yeah, exactly. Just based on the lifetimes of, like, circumstances or whatever.
Because she was like, huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Like, when Varen met Luke, it was like, weird. Your name sounds like Borderlander. And
doesn't quite connect. So,
yeah. And
okay.
he's like, nope. But, like, because he gave a different last name.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay. I think we have to leave that at that for now.
We got stuff to go into the next book with, though.
I don't think he's dead, though. That's my main prediction here.
Okay.
I don't think he died.
Well, that also makes sense because we saw Luke go.
Yeah.
It's just like, what's the status of the dream world side
or
of it,
what's the status of Luke in the real world, too?
Yeah.
I don't think... they're the same.
Okay.
They're the same in my brain.
Okay.
And I don't think he died. So Fane giggles at the thought of Isam being angry, and he thinks the man is a problem for another time, if he lives.
And that's important because Fane also doesn't know. It's just good to know what Fane doesn't know, just for our knowledge.
Yeah. So Fane is riding for Tarvalin for his dagger. That's his new plan.
Yeah.
He's annoyed that Manetheren is like being annoying again.
Yeah.
Because it harried him for so many years, like so many years ago. And now he needs to let the Two Rivers and Rand pay.
Yes. So Tarvalin, but he says, but Camelin first. Yeah. So the whole question about Fane going for his dagger, that's locked up in the White Tower from what we know.
Yeah.
So are you thinking like stealth mission in and out?
I'm thinking he's not making it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? Not for his dagger?
No. Not yet. Not for a long
Okay, that's like in the future.
Yeah. So like in maybe the future, obviously that's his end game, but he's trying to do so many things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's got so many personalities going on.
Yeah.
So many missions.
He's got people to attach himself to.
Sure. And so my question is, going forward, he's like leaving the White Cloaks behind. He's leaving the Two Rivers behind. He still wants to get to Rand and piss Rand off somehow.
Yeah.
And he thinks the key to that is now in Camelin for some reason.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm wondering, I want to see Pedronile being like, hey, where did Ordeith go?
Yeah, because that was the game plan, right?
Yeah, where did that guy go? I liked him. He was helping me. Like, I want to know, like, is he gonna wonder?
Well, I mean, like, Pedronile sent him off, so I mean, was he expecting him back? Was he just hoping things go well in the Two Rivers? from a White Cloak perspective, but yeah.
I don't know.
Question marks for the next book.
So many. Yeah, because there's 2 chapters left. Seems to all be wrapped up, this storyline.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
I think the girls, maybe we might see something.
Final little tidbit?
One final perspective.
Okay,
That's my
like
prediction.
a half a page,
I'd be happy, though, if they didn't. It's okay with me. If the final 2 chapters are only in the waist, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, because we need some sort of closure on the whole Rand business.
Oh, the boss meeting.
Yeah.
Boss meeting is coming.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think we're getting that this book.
Okay, you're not going to have to wait for that.
No.
Okay.
No, that's the prediction.
Love it. That's good.
And then I get to read.
You do. You get to finish.
I get to finish
The Shadow Rising. Oh my god, that's so exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think you should go and read that, last 2 chapters.
So, after you save your entire village from Shadow Spawn attack and find out you're not the last of your family name, I'm going to say this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Vince Look, Michelle O'Brien, Sarah Wyatt, Jamie Young, Cody Feltz, Giannis, and Megan Smiley. With music by Audionautics.com. If you're interested in some of our Wheel Weaves merchandise, such as shot glasses, frosty mugs, t-shirts, hats, and more, you can head over to newcreationsbyjen.com, and we are located in the groups or collections section. If you're interested in supporting us and helping us to make really great content, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast, and you'll also get access to some really great bonus content like early access to our regular episodes, bonus episodes, unedited video episodes, access to our live recordings, monthly Q&As, and more like stickers and keychains. Don't forget to find us on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We'd also love for you to join the conversation over at our Discord, and you can find the link to that in our bios on those social medias. We'd love for you to tell a friend about us. Referrals really are the best compliment. We'd love for you to leave a review and subscribe. That really does make a huge difference. Thanks so much again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.